Bugs crashing your pack's party? Whether they've got paws or sneakers, your pack deserves a home that's protected from pests. That's where Wondercide comes in. Plant-powered protection made with steam-distilled natural essential oils that actually work. It kills and repels fleas, ticks, mosquitoes, and ants without questionable ingredients or overpowering smells. Safe to use around kids and pets when used as directed, lab-proven to work fast, and proudly made in the USA. We offer sprays for pets, people, homes, and yards. Plus, spot-on treatments, collars, and even shampoos. Whatever your pack needs, we've got it covered. Founded by a pet parent looking for a better way to protect her dog Luna, Wondercide's now protected over 21 million lives and counting. You might have even seen us on Shark Tank. Go to Wondercide.com and use code WONDER20 for 20% off your first order. That's WONDER20 at Wondercide.com. Wondercide. Protect your pack with plant-powered Wondercide today.
Hello, this is Chris Haskell from They Live by Film. For those that don't know us, Adam, Zach, and I, we built a podcast over the last 2 years that's a combination of film discussion from 3 very different perspectives, as well as industry interviews with the leaders in boutique Blu-ray and 4K community. We started with Deaf Crocodile, but over time we've been lucky enough to speak with Arrow Video, Severin, Mondo Macabro, Vinegar Syndrome, Radiance, Indicator, most of the OCN partner labels. It's been a blast. You can find us wherever you podcast, and also actually recently as part of Someone's Favorite Production Podcast Network. We hope to see you online.
Welcome to the Kulturecast. I'm Chris Stachiw, and I'm joined by 2 people who know a little something about Blaxploitation films. The projection booth's Mike White.
Hello.
And my good friend, the host of the Chronicles from the Crypt podcast, OughtFiveFilm's own, Father Malone.
Good afternoon or evening, depending on where you are.
Or even morning.
No,
Father Malone is no poop butt.
Wow. The fuck?
Okay.
Boy, we are completely lost. But we are starting Blaxploitation April with a look at a film that you may not have heard of, but that's okay, because when we're done with it, you're going to rush out and watch it. We're talking about 1974's Blaxploitation classic, Truck Turner.
Hide your mamas. Big brother is coming. And he's coming on strong. Isaac Hayes, the big brother of soul, is making a new kind of music. And it's mean jive.
All right, y'all look smooth. If anybody asks you what happened, tell them you've been hit by a truck. Mack Truck Turner.
When he's hottest, he's the coolest.
Hey,
could have brought me some flowers.
I got some beer.
When he's baddest,
What do you want for breakfast?
he's the best.
What do you think?
Every gun brother and sister is out to make the big hit.
I want that Truck Turner, and I want him dead.
But he's out to get before he's got. Isaac Hayes, as a skip tracer, a modern-day bounty hunter, making a healthy living by making living unhealthy for cats who skip bail.
Gentlemen, this is my family. These all prime-cut $238,000 worth of dynamite is Fort Knox in pennies. That's Taffy. Her clients call her Colonel Sanders because she's finger-licking good. The man who kills him gets my broads.
Truck, they gonna kill you.
They're gonna have to do just that. Because they owe me. I'm gonna collect.
When he gets it on, the action takes off. magic name of music. Winner of the Academy Award for his music in Shaft and scoring again in this one. Truck Turner. From American International Pictures.
Film is directed by Jonathan Kaplan, written by Michael Allen and Oscar Williams, based on a story by Jerry Wilkes. It stars Isaac Hayes, Yaphet Kotto, and Nichelle Nichols, along with some other folks. We'll get to that when we talk about the film. Scatman Crothers is in there. Dick Miller is in there. Scatman Crothers with a really hilarious wig. I don't know, maybe that is
That was his real hair.
I just assume Scatman Crothers is bald. I mean, you know.
He was bald
That is a good
since the day he
assumption.
was born.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the film is all about Truck Turner, the titular character, who is a former football player turned bounty hunter who gets in deep with some rough types. One of them is a foul-mouthed Nichelle Nichols, otherwise known as Uhura from Star Trek, which was probably my favorite part of the film. Mike, you helped program this month Truck Turner. Why are we talking about Truck Turner?
Why not? It's so
That's a
fucking
fair
good.
question. I mean, you're
love
not
this
wrong.
movie.
This movie's fucking
Yeah.
amazing. Holy shit. Oh my god.
I wanted to set you up with 4 movies that I thought just really put blaxploitation on the map, and I was trying to tickle your fancy. We all need a little bit of levity in the world right now, and I think that these movies just provide some really solid entertainment.
So Father Malone, you programmed Blaxploitation Month the last time we did it 2 years ago. You're joining us for the first Blaxploitation film of April this time around. What did you think of Truck Turner, and was it the first time you'd seen it?
No, way back in around, I'm going to say 1992, I was working at a revival house in Santa Monica as a projectionist, and this was one of the features we showed. I love this movie so much so that I stole the 35mm trailer that we were using to advertise it. And that trailer contains one of my favorite lines of any trailer of all time, which is, "He makes a healthy living, making living unhealthy." No, this is a great blaxploitation film. Really, kind of across the board. I enjoy almost everything about it. There are certain problems, but problems that weren't necessarily not rife throughout the entire genre. But this one's a cut above. This is almost as good as I think a blaxploitation film can get. So, not my first time seeing it. I was happy to
Bugs crashing your pack's party? Whether they've got paws or sneakers, your pack deserves a home that's protected from pests. That's where Wondercide comes in. Plant-powered protection made with steam-distilled natural essential oils that actually work. It kills and repels fleas, ticks, mosquitoes, and ants without questionable ingredients or overpowering smells. Safe to use around kids and pets when used as directed. Lab-proven to work fast. And proudly made in the USA. We offer sprays for pets, people, homes, and yards. Plus, spot-on treatments, collars, and even shampoos. Whatever your pack needs, we've got it covered. Founded by a pet parent looking for a better way to protect her dog Luna, Wondercide's now protected over 21 million lives and counting. You might have even seen us on Shark Tank. Go to Wondercide.com and use code WONDER20 for 20% off your first order. That's WONDER20 at Wondercide.com. Wondercide. Protect your pack with plant-powered Wondercide today.
Hello, this is Aaron West. I am the author of the A24 New Wave. In this book, I look at A24's output and I make the argument that we are in a new wave movement right now. A24 plays a major role. This book has a supplemental podcast where each episode is a brief conversation about an A24 related topic, whether an actor, director, or even a genre. As I continue research for the book and conduct interviews, I expect to record podcast episodes with people involved with the company. You can find the podcast at cinejourneys.com or wherever you find podcasts, and we are proud to be members of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
watch it for this podcast.
So this was my first time seeing it, not my first exposure to blaxploitation films. Unlike last month with foreign sci-fi, this is not my first exposure to it. So I kind of knew what to expect until I turned the movie on, and the way I would explain it to someone who maybe would be a hard sell for them to watch it is imagine Isaac Hayes as Black James Bond, because that's kind of what he is. He is just absolutely the most badass human being on the planet, and everyone has heard of him, apparently. Everyone in the greater LA area has heard of him. Because I'm assuming he's like O.J. Simpson without all the craziness. That's kind of what he reminded me of. The notoriety of who he was before he became a bounty hunter.
Well, I like that the notoriety sort of is out there, and everyone knows of him, but nobody quite knows what he looks like. There's a scene where he kicks everyone's ass in a bar, and afterwards they're like, "Man, if I knew that was Truck Turner, I would have demanded twice as much money, or I wouldn't have done anything at all." That notoriety exists, but still under the radar, which is kind of great.
Maybe less O.J. Simpson and more Earl Campbell, if that makes sense. He's clearly a badass human being. I mean, obviously, we're going to talk about a lot of the action scenes in the movie, but the fact that you cast someone in this film who is not traditionally an actor, I mean, I know Isaac Hayes is in a lot of stuff, and a lot of people my age know him for one role, unfortunately, and while that role is a great role for him as an actor, I think it pigeonholes him for a lot of people. Obviously, Isaac Hayes played the chef on South Park, but in this film, he's amazing.
And it's his first film.
Right, exactly.
Was it? I thought he did Tough Guys right before this.
Did he?
I don't know. I could be wrong. I mean, it might have been the same year. Yeah.
I mean, the previous year he won an Academy Award for his music for Shaft. I know that.
Exactly.
This was technically his second film, but it came out the same year as Three Tough Guys.
Oh, there you go.
This is the first one where he's the main solo lead.
Yeah. And he wouldn't get that again, I don't think, ever. I think he always played he was a fantastic villain in Escape from New York as the Duke of New York.
You are the Duke, you're a number one.
But after that, I mean, he would show up as supporting players, and he kind of sent himself up in "I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker" and "Hammer, Slammer, and Slade." But yeah, I don't think he ever got a lead role again, and he carries this film on his shoulders. He is just fantastic in this.
Well, and he's super charismatic. I mean, and that's the thing again that gets lost for people my age watching him on South Park, is you don't get to see the mannerisms of the man himself. I mean, obviously he was an immensely gifted singer-songwriter, but seeing him in this film, the thing that bums me out the most about this film is this is it. We don't get to see this again. There's not a follow-up to this film. And it almost feels like the way the film ended, there should have been or could have been a follow-up. I mean, he drives off to go to another city. I guess he theoretically leaves a life behind, but still, I wanted to see more of this because everything about his performance is so charismatic and endearing that he really is, fantastic in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Here's how charismatic he is. He's late picking up his girlfriend from jail. She demands flowers. He says, "No, I've got beer." Then she says, "You can at least take me out for dinner." And he gets Kentucky Fried Chicken, and she's still smiling when they get back to the apartment. That's how charming Isaac Hayes is.
She doesn't even finish her leg before she's given it up to him because she is so turned on by this man.
And further proof he's charismatic, he gets her locked up 3/4 of the way through the film, and all he has to do after he gets her from prison is show up on time and have a kitten with him, after she probably spent another 30 days in prison.
He tried to warn her.
He did.
But, so, the film follows Truck Turner. He's a bounty hunter, and at the beginning of the film, he's tasked by Dick Miller, the fantastic Dick Miller, with finding a pimp named Gator, because, of course, the names alone in these films that they give these pimps and other folks are just fantastic, and they end up killing him, and then Dorinda, who is Gator's pimp side, person who helped him?
I think that she is his bottom
business partner?
bitch.
I guess.
Yeah.
But she gets mad that he's dead, and so she essentially takes out a hit on Truck Turner. And the rest of the film is Truck Turner shooting and killing everyone that's coming after him. And one of those people happens to be Yaphet Kotto, because, of course, Yaphet Kotto is in this movie.
This is one of the few, really down and dirty blaxploitation films that he did. He was much more of a serious actor, even from the beginning. I know, people will say Across 110th Street is blaxploitation. You might even try to make an argument that Bone is blaxploitation, but I think this one is, in that much more general audience type of lower tier blaxploitation film. He was more of a serious guy at this point, and so he kind of lowered himself into this. But he's perfect. I love him in this because he is much more serious than anybody else, and he's not shucking and jiving or doing any of that kind of stuff in here. He is just he comes in and he's so cool about everything, especially the first time you see him when he fucking spits on Gator's casket. It's just oh man, this is awesome.
Well, he is very clearly he considers himself a businessman, not just a street hustler, which is what...
Bugs crashing your pack's party? Whether they've got paws or sneakers, your pack deserves a home that's protected from pests. That's where Wondercide comes in. Plant-powered protection made with steam-distilled natural essential oils that actually work. It kills and repels fleas, ticks, mosquitoes, and ants without questionable ingredients or overpowering smells. Safe to use around kids and pets when used as directed. Lab-proven to work fast. And proudly made in the USA. We offer sprays for pets, people, homes, and yards. Plus, spot-on treatments, collars, and even shampoos. Whatever your pack needs, we've got it covered. Founded by a pet parent looking for a better way to protect her dog Luna, Wondercide's now protected over 21 million lives and counting. You might have even seen us on Shark Tank. Go to Wondercide.com and use code WONDER20 for 20% off your first order. That's WONDER20 at Wondercide.com. Wondercide. Protect your pack with plant-powered Wondercide today.
Makes his character so great. And then on top of everything else, this was 1 year removed from the best Roger Moore James Bond film, Live and Let Die, where he's playing a variation on this character. I would say that this is a better version of the Mr. Big Kananga character from Live and Let Die, because that film obviously does it kind of takes blaxploitation and doesn't make a joke of it, but it doesn't do it justice, and having him in this role really allows him to show what that role could have been if they hadn't taken blaxploitation and kind of bastardized it.
Speaking of his entrance scene, I actually paused the movie while I was watching it because this is one of those situations where Kirk Douglas always used to say, the perfect role for an actor is the rest of the characters spend half the movie saying, "Where is that guy?" And then you show up, you do your thing, disappear for a little while, and then the character's like, "Where'd that guy go?" Yaphet Kotto's character, Harvard Blue, great name, shows up exactly one halfway between the beginning and the end of this movie.
Nice.
And we have been, up until this point, getting sort of minor villains with Gator and whoever, the sort of lowlifes they've been running into. But once he steps out of the car, there is no question that this is our villain. It's like Vader walking through that door in Star Wars. Oh, okay, here we go. The movie's really going to kick into high gear now.
And that's the crazy part about the film, is that it does take so long for Yaphet Kotto to show up, but he makes use of every minute of the film that he is in.
And that's something, by the way, this character showing up halfway through, you would never get away with now. They would have been setting his character up at the very
From the
least.
third scene.
Yeah, exactly. They would have been talking about him in the opening shot, and then 3 scenes in, we would get at least something he was doing, or it would just keep building and building and building. And I'm sure this isn't we're trying to break the mold, a bit of screenwriting here, but it absolutely works, and I loved it. I loved it.
He's basically the Thanos of this movie.
Yeah. There you go.
I'll tell you what, though, all the fawning over Yaphet Kotto aside, as someone who hasn't seen Nichelle Nichols in anything else other than the original series, first off, I didn't recognize her immediately. And secondly, talk about a completely different role than I, as a fan of the original series of Star Trek, is used to with Nichelle Nichols. She is the secondary villain of the film, and she's fantastic.
Steals this flick.
Yeah, she really does. I mean,
she's so filthy. That language is so filthy. It made me blush.
The way she described, when they're kind of having this kind of get together and they're trying to figure out who's going to be the one to kill Truck Turner, and she's walking her prostitutes out and describing each of them. It's just like, Jesus H. Christ, lady. Like, I mean, look, it's the mid 70s, and this film is blaxploitation, and the treatment of women in blaxploitation films, you either have something like Coffee, where you have a female who is, the badass, or you have them essentially, as prostitutes, which is what this film goes for. But it works. I mean, it totally works because that tracks with what her character is throughout the entire film. Up until the moment she gets shot by Truck Turner, that's her character to the core.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and across the board with blaxploitation movies, it never felt like, at the 70s, you could probably still get away with a lot of sort of shunting female characters toward their traditional roles. But these films always kind of were not just uplifting the race, but like uplifting the gender as well. I think her character's a perfect example of this. A couple years later, they did Black Belt Jones, where his quote-unquote love interest, one of my favorite scenes in any blaxploitation movie, where he's like, why don't you go over there and do the dishes? And she just takes out a gun and blasts them all and goes, they're done. Like,
I love it.
Like, there's so many good, strong female characters. I mean, granted, we've got a ton of prostitutes in this one. But even then, you get the sense that these women can fuck you up. So, yeah. I don't think any woman, even Truck Turner's girlfriend here, who plays the sort of more traditional female part in an action movie, like, you get the sense that she can hold her own. I mean, she's in prison for what? Do they tell us why she was in prison to begin with?
No, at the beginning of the movie, she's just in prison.
Right.
And speaking of that prison scene, can I just 1 second, because my jaw hit the floor when I noticed the sort of main guy who's checking them in and takes Truck Turner's gun from him. That was an actor named Matthew Beard from the original Our Gang comedies. That was Stymie, the little kid with the bowler hat. Yeah, I was floored when I saw that.
I mean, there's a lot of folks in this movie that I wasn't... I mean, again, I hadn't seen Scatman Crothers, obviously, in anything other than The Shining, so seeing him in this film was fantastic. And, I mean, Dick Miller is always welcome, and he's, one of the few white characters in the film. That, that Truck Turner has anything to do with in a less than just kind of standoffish sense.
And he's not a boob, because you get a lot of the white guys who are just ineffectual idiots in these movies, so I was glad Dick Miller wasn't one of them. And when they get to the police station, Charles Cyphers plays the sort of white wino character. His character's actually named Drunk in the credits. Charles Cyphers was in all of John Carpenter's early films. He's a cop in Assault on Precinct 13. He's Sheriff Brackett in Halloween, and he's I believe he's the vice president in Escape from New York. So weird to just see him in this throwaway scene with a beer can and just the what in any other Hollywood movie about a sort of ghettoized environment would have been a raggedy black character. I thought that was fun.
I do like how, and we talked about kind of shirking conventions with blaxploitation films, at least this one, and I mean, I'm sure it will continue into some of the other ones we're watching this month. They really do upend the storytelling conventions. I mean, when you have a character like Gator, who's introduced at the beginning of the film, you expect that he is going to be the main villain, because that's kind of what you're trained with a lot of, like you were saying, Mike and Father Malone, about not introducing the main villain at the beginning of the film. I honestly forgot that Yaphet Kotto was in the film. I just kind of watched it. I didn't watch any trailers. I assumed that Gator was going to be the villain, and when Truck Turner kills him in 5-10 minutes after they introduce his character, I was like, oh, okay. Oh, all right. That's not even, he's not the villain, clearly. But I appreciate that about these blaxploitation films, that they don't feel beholden to common traditional storytelling framing devices.
Certainly not in this case. I mean, no one's reading. You can tell no one read the screenwriting 101. Here's what this character's arc needs to be, and every 10 or 15 pages we need one of this or something of that, and this all has to tie back in. There are elements in the screenplay that I wish had been pumped up. I wish we spent a little more time with Truck Turner, just getting to know him. I mean, we get to know that he was a former football star, and he's a badass, and everyone knows who he is, and, but, like, that's a minor quibble, because what you're saying, Chris, I completely agree with. There doesn't seem to be any formula going on here. I mean, we've got formulaic occurrences throughout the film, but it's never like, okay, and now the next scene is going to be this. Like, you can't anticipate what's going to happen, because, like you said, we've got a character who must be the villain. Oh, no, wait, he's dead. Now what are we doing? Oh, okay, we're meeting her. She must be the villain. A little bit like Alien in that regard. Like, who's the hero here?
Yeah, which is surprising because I know, at least one or two of the screenwriters, they weren't pumping these things out, and when they were, it was not that great. I like Oscar Williams a lot, but I mean, he gave us this, he gave us Black Belt Jones, he gave us The Final Come Down, that's great, but then he would give us, like, Hot Potato, which is just terrible. I mean, you want a sequel to Truck Turner, you got a sequel to Black Belt Jones, and it was just a terrible sequel, so it might be better that we never got a sequel to Truck Turner.
Yeah, perhaps. And isn't this was a script written originally, it was going to get made, it was going to be like a sort of a legitimate studio flick. The screenwriter, I know it's listed as, like, Jerry something or other, but that's actually a woman named Lee Chapman, who wrote, Dirty Larry, Crazy Mary, and eventually The Octagon, which I can't quite figure out. But, but yeah, as a standalone flick, this might be the best thing we could have gotten, Like, as great a movie as Shaft is, Shaft in Africa is not so great.
Right. Yeah, so, I tend to prefer the third one, the Shaft's Big Score, actually. Much
that one's good.
Shaft in Africa, yeah. But you're totally right. And I had read, and I don't know how much stock to put in this, but they were actually trying to develop this for Robert Mitchum. It's like, what?
It's such a weird idea.
I mean, that was very typical. I mean, to take a white script and quote-unquote black it up and then put a black actor in there. But this, when they did that for this script, it really feels genuine. It doesn't feel like, when I watch Shaft, and that was one reason, Chris, why I didn't suggest that we do Shaft this month. Shaft always feels like he was originally a white guy and they just kind of switched him to a black guy, and it never felt sincere, as opposed to something like Superfly or The Mack or Truck Turner. And with Truck Turner, it's like, yeah, okay, he might have been written white at first, but they do a great job of making this character feel like he is African American in an African American world.
You're telling me that because they couldn't get the third name that we haven't mentioned for this film as the lead, Ernest Borgnine, which, by the way, says something about 74, that they couldn't get Ernest Borgnine to be in this film, so they just said, oh, this is a blaxploitation film now. Let's just find someone else. You're telling me this film wouldn't have been as successful if it had been Ernest Borgnine as Mack Truck Turner?
I can see Ernest Borgnine holding up that six-pack of Coors going, I brought some beer.
That's about the only thing I could see Ernest Borgnine doing.
I kind of disagree with you guys. I think Borgnine would have been pretty good. I mean, look at him in The Wild Bunch, he's not he's not going to be doing many foot chases necessarily, but, I think he could have carried it as, because even Truck Turner's got Jerry, his quasi sidekick, with him, out there running people down with him. So that could have worked.
Can we talk about the scene where Jerry gets shot?
Oh man!
Oh my God!
That Father Malone, humor me for a second. That that sequence with that dummy going flying reminded me of an episode of Tales from the Crypt we talked about where a dummy gets thrown at David Warner. It is such a violent effect that I wound it back 3 or 4 times and just kept watching and going, holy shit. They not only did they go for it, it is successful and somehow at the same time, like, oddly humorous because it is so over the top.
Oh, yeah.
It's way over the top. What's funny about that is, just a few scenes earlier, we had Jerry getting stabbed by she must have just been a proxy for like a Manson girl, right? But when she started stabbing him, I was like, oh my God, they're going to kill Jerry and they're going to kill him in this ignominious way. And then when he wasn't killed, I'm like, oh, thank God, because I liked the character of Jerry. Like, he's going to survive. So when he gets unloaded on with those shotguns, I was like, Jesus Christ. It's that, I don't know. It was shocking. Like, I had seen the movie, 30 years ago, I guess, almost. But, had completely forgotten that was going to happen to him. And, yeah, I mean, I get it. You can rewatch it and watch the sort of technical hilarity. But dramatically, God damn, it worked.
Yeah, it's a bummer because, like you said, I mean, Alan Weeks as Jerry is just... He's great. I mean, he balances out, Truck Turner, because Truck Turner has a pretty self-inflated ego of himself, and Jerry does a pretty good job of bringing him back down to earth. And, then the film ends up becoming, Truck Turner on the war path at the end, trying to avenge his friend. Both of his friends...
Wait. He's really avenging Francis the cat, isn't he?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the other ignominious death.
Oh my God. The thing with the cat is a little much. A lot much, probably. There's just like a cat hanging in a closet. Like, Jesus Christ, movie, calm down. Yeah, because your friend getting murdered by 30 shotguns going off at once isn't enough. It's, we need to have the cat hanging in a closet. All right, Jesus, good Lord.
And, another thing about that character, the Jerry character, in kind of the lesser blaxploitation movies, that guy would have been, like, the straight comic relief, and it would have been total buffoonery. Yeah. And it never felt like that. He felt like it's just a lighter version of Truck. Like, he's just likable and a little less intense. And, he brought levity with it, to it, rather, without it, like, devolving into sort of a clown kind of character. So, the script continues, even in retrospect, to impress me with what they went for here.
I think for me, one of the most impressive sequences in the film is Yaphet Kotto's death, which all of a sudden takes this bizarre, almost art house approach to how he dies.
Well, it's great because he uses the Snorri cam. Kaplan uses the Snorri cam, and it's I don't remember when Mean Streets came out, but it's exactly what he's a Corman guy. Kaplan is, as is Martin Scorsese, and Scorsese would use the same Snorri cam on Harvey Keitel, like right around the same time with Mean Streets. So it's just like, wow, it looks like they were thinking on the exact same wavelength.
Yeah, Kaplan beat him to it because Mean Streets wasn't for another year.
There you go. Way to go, Jonathan Kaplan.
Yeah, man.
It's like, it's so well done at the end that it does, it like we're talking about the fact that Scorsese does something very similar or almost exactly the same. It doesn't feel like it should be in this movie, but it totally works because the villain is so awful that you want to see him suffer.
And when they cut out all the music, and we didn't even talk about the score, but they cut out all the music, and it's just that wind sound effect as he's walking back to the car. And I love that you can see Isaac Hayes in the background out of focus, and it's just focusing in on Yaphet Kotto as he's trying to make it to the car. And they're cutting back and forth between him and then the handheld footage of the struggle to get to the car. Oh, yeah, it is so good. And then how it ends, we've got that wind sound, and then it ends with him hitting the horn with his head and signaling his death.
It's a little bit of it's a little bit of dark humor, but it works. I mean, it works.
Oh, yeah.
It works in the scheme and kind of what the film is going for. But yeah, we should talk about the score and the music because, Jesus Christ. I mean, come on, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you have Isaac Hayes. He does the music as well. And everybody knows Shaft. Everybody knows Watch Your Mouth. You know, I mean, this is as good as Shaft.
I think it's better than Shaft, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, Shaft has kind of taken a hit in recent years because it's become just kind of like a punchline to a joke. The music for Shaft has, especially the theme for Shaft. And this doesn't have that attached to it, becoming kind of a joke. And it's amazing.
Well, I think the music in Shaft it feels always kind of crowd pleasing and uplifting.
Always on.
And this score is like it achieves the same level of funk that we would always get from Black Moses, Isaac Hayes, but it kind of feels a bit off-putting in a way, and kind of keeps you off balance. So it's a weird thing because you want to kind of groove to it, but at the same time, it makes you feel a little odd trying to do it, which I think is more appropriate for this particular film. I mean, I think of the two films, Shaft is that sort of rabble-rousing crowd pleaser. This one's a little more difficult to sort of get into in that way, and so in that way, I think this score is actually much more appropriate. Plus, I own both albums, and this is the one I put on.
Yeah, that main theme is fantastic. I really like the way they use the music towards the end I think it's when he's attacking the house where all the insurance guys are at, what they would call it in Black Belt Jones, they'd call it the Bogarts that they bring out from Detroit, but this time it's the insurance policy that they bring out, these hitmen. And they've got this one theme that's playing with the hitmen, and then you hear in the background, you hear that like starting to build, and it's just like, and they never resolve it. It's like they start to play both themes at once, and they are clashing, and they never resolve to Truck's theme, which I was very happy that they didn't just like bring it up in the mix all of a sudden and drop out the other stuff, because he's still in conflict, even though he manages to massacre all those guys.
Well, I just want to speak just for a moment about Jonathan Kaplan, like as a filmmaker, like, you know, he was never really known past this as an action director. I mean, some of his movies had some action in it. There's a movie just a couple of years later called Over the Edge about which is a great movie, and it has some action in it. But it's mainly at the very end when the kids finally start to riot in this town, but I think a lot of the action in this movie is really fucking solid. I mean, in the initial car chase between its Truck and Jerry are chasing Gator through the streets. Well, two things. Not Jerry, but Gator, while driving that car, he seems to run over potentially everything that you could in an action scene. He runs over a baby carriage, and then he runs over an errant flower cart that happens to be in the middle of the road. Like, I was waiting for the two guys to come walking out with the pane of glass for the car to smash through that as well. The one thing that you missed, that you haven't mentioned,
he hits the guy rolling a shopping cart full of bagels.
Oh, yeah. That really made me feel bad for those bagels.
What the hell was that? What an oddly specific thing for him to hit.
You don't have a bagel man in your town that goes around and just like bagels. Yeah, just throughout the neighborhood. Every morning at 6:30, I hear bagel, and I have to run out like yes, make sure double cream cheese. Yeah.
Wait a minute. You just open up your window and say, Bagel Man, toss me one. Just toss it in the window, Bagel Man.
Oh, yeah, well, I know. He knows I'm on account, so.
And the thing is, like, all those things with him running and crashing the car over and over again, like, seem silly at the time, but it's actually a great payoff because when it turns into a foot chase and Gator's able to elude them and get back into Jerry's car, which he's clearly financing, and his wife's going to kill him if anything happens to it, and Jerry takes off in it. When they're following him, I thought it was a really tense moment. I kept cringing every time Gator got close to crashing that car. Like, that was as good as tense a sequence as anything else in the rest of the movie, I thought.
Yeah, and I think it was a lot more than just, the radiator getting shot. I think he broke his axle.
Oh, I think so. I think so, too.
So one thing I did want to mention that I will never probably get to talk about again on this podcast is my undying love and appreciation for Isaac Hayes, and more specifically, his 1971 album, Black Moses, which not only is it a fantastic album, not only does it have some of his best songs on it, not only is it almost a perfect album, it has one of the greatest unfolding covers of all time.
Oh, he was great for the gatefold covers, man.
Oh, my God.
I mean, isn't Truck Turner, is that a gatefold as well?
You're goddamn right it is.
Okay, yeah. And one of my favorites was Juicy Fruit Disco Freak. That had a great cover as well. But yeah, Black Moses. The cover of that, my mom, I grew up on Joy, the one where he's got the chain vest.
Yes.
But yes, Black Moses, that's the one where he's got like the black hood over his head.
Well, it's
right?
like he looks like he's the title of the album's Black Moses, but he looks like Jesus. I mean, it gatefolds out and it makes a cross, obviously, and it's him standing there in this like blue and white striped robe with, of course, giant sunglasses on. It's phenomenal. I mean, I remember buying it probably when I was like 14 or 15 and listening to it and thinking it was just the greatest thing I'd ever heard, but never thought I would get a chance to talk about it here. But yeah, his gatefold game was on point, but the Black Moses one is just, holy shit. I mean, the balls on Isaac Hayes, just the balls on Isaac Hayes. Like, come on.
Oh, you're right. It wasn't I was thinking there's another one where I think he's turning away from the camera, but this one he's face on with the sunglasses.
Oh yeah, it's so good. It's just great. Yeah. But you know, the film itself is so good, and like I said, I wish that there was more of it, but it is so good as like a self-contained film, and it has everything that I kind of wanted and expected in blaxploitation, and it delivered on all aspects. So this is one of the few films I have watched for this podcast where I walked away from it going, I'm not sure I would want it to be any better, because I think it's pretty goddamn good as it is.
Yeah, it's definitely on point.
Yeah, and everything we've said so far is completely can recommend the film, but it also does a couple of things that I love about movies in this period. Particularly blaxploitations that were shot in Los Angeles, because I just have a fascination with that city overall. So getting to see it, particularly when you get something like American International doing it, where they're just, they've got a B, it might even be the A camera crew out there just filming the city streets like in early morning. Like, none of those people are getting paid to have their images on screen. So you're getting like a true travelogue of what Los Angeles looked like around 1973, I guess is when they were really filming it. So that I love, and what's funny is they have like a bunch of bums like having a fight in front of the original Hard Rock Cafe at one point. So it was kind of cool to be able to see that. And then the other thing it does, and this is just a personal love of mine, during the 1970s, most film blood was supplied by a company called 3M, that Dayglow looking blood, and I go nuts for it. And when Jerry gets his and they blast him to pieces,
yes,
it is a 3M extravaganza. So like I said, in addition to everything else I like about the movie, those two things like elevate it for me even more.
I'm glad you mentioned the blood, because when I saw it, all I could think was, they had someone from a zombie film making the blood in this movie. Because it is, it's insanely out of character, but it works. Because Truck Turner is effectively, he's kind of a superhero. He wouldn't be, superhero James Bond-esque character. That's he, at one point in the film, a guy tries to point blank shoot him and he misses. Multiple times. Where are they finding this henchman is my point. And so that's what you go watch a James Bond film, see how many times James Bond gets hit. Unless he needs to get hit, he never gets hit. And it's very much the same in this film. I don't think Truck Turner gets shot once.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, poor Jerry just gets, either stabbed or shot.
mean, Jerry doesn't get shot. He gets blown up. He literally gets... I mean, if they could have done the effects, he would have just been a puddle on the ground and just kind of viscera surrounding it.
Yeah.
But it's a testament to 70s filmmaking where, like, as ridiculous, and I'm sure a modern audience would feel it's completely and totally ridiculous, like that 3M blood can look. The film has taken itself so seriously. Now, this is also true of Dawn of the Dead, which 3M it's wall to wall in that movie. Like, the situations are rough and distasteful enough that you can look past how comic booky the blood that we're getting is. So I don't. And this movie is just another example of that. Like, that blood could have been green, and I still would have felt awful when Jerry got blasted.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
I want to talk quickly about the fucking hospital scene where they are just wantedly shooting in every direction, like blowing up equipment. Like at one point, there's like some crazy looking bag of blood, and like while his surgery is going on, gone, blow that up, knock this guy off a gurney. It is so crazily irresponsible. It just made me laugh the whole time.
There's one point where one of the bad guys turns around and just point blank shoots a patient, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? That guy wasn't doing anything.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. There are movies that like set out to kind of be socially irresponsible and push everyone's buttons. They don't get clearly like in any way close to what this movie is like actually trafficking in. And oh god, the movie just gets better and better and better as far as I'm concerned.
Well, and then you have Yaphet Kotto grabbing a child and holding him hostage with a gun to his head, screaming at Truck Turner to come out. I mean, it's just the ultimate bad guy villain move is to grab a child and point a gun at him. And Truck Turner doesn't even break a sweat. He's like, all right, fine, here we go. And just the finale of this film is, I was expecting it maybe to be just kind of cut, dried, and over, and maybe slowed down like some of the other blaxploitation films we're going to talk about later this month. But this just keeps the fucking pedal to the metal right until the last moment when Yaphet Kotto's character dies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't say enough good things about this. I live streamed this the other day, and one person was just like, John Woo must have seen this before he made Hard Boiled. And I was like, okay, sure. Because you're right, that hospital scene is intense.
Yeah, insanely good.
I mean, there were so many great action set pieces in this film. You talked about the car chase, the bar fight, when Jerry gets it, this the hospital scene. I mean, it just keeps going. And you were talking about that car chase. I love that shot when Gator parks his car and goes running across that whole field of like little waterfalls or whatever that was. It just looks so nice.
That's a desalinization plant in San Pedro, which, again, that whole foot chase is fantastic. Like, I rarely turn into a 70s black audience, but when Truck and Jerry are, like, running together and the guy has eluded them, I actually screamed at the television, like, you guys are supposed to split up! Like, you're gonna lose him! That whole thing is great. And you know what? I'm kind of a stickler, and this is probably to my detriment, but if I'm watching a movie and I'm familiar with the area and characters are in one place and then there's suddenly another, it pulls me out of the movie to the point where I'm like, fuck you. But in this, they're chasing Gator through the streets of Los Angeles. They take a turn, and then suddenly they're at the refineries in San Pedro, which is like 30 miles away. But I was just like, I don't even care. This is so good. Now get out and chase them on foot.
Father Malone, what would you give this film out of 5?
I'm going to give it 5 is like reserved for like...
Do it.
Okay, I gotta give it a 5. Like, I'll give it a 5 as a blaxploitation movie. It is the top of the heap. If I'm gonna compare it to Kubrick or something, I'll give it a 4. But that's still pretty good.
What about you, Mike?
Yeah, this is up there for me. This is one of my faves. So I think Father Malone is right to give it a 5.
I am right there with you. I was going to give it a 5. I want to watch it again. Like, I've watched it once. I'm probably going to watch it again. I'm going to tell people who may not have any interest or preconceived knowledge of blaxploitation to watch this film, and hopefully that will get them interested in it. Because I think that that's the other good thing, like you mentioned, Mike, that is good about this film, is that it is approachable enough for someone who has never seen blaxploitation.
Yeah, it's a great starter.
Yeah.
I think you can recommend this movie without qualification, and then if the person doesn't like it, you can simply stop being friends with them.
Yeah, there you go. That's a really good advice.
I don't like Isaac Hayes. Well, fuck you. Isn't that the guy from South Park? Fuck you. Oh, boy.
It's the guy from Posse. Thank you very much.
Isn't he a Scientologist?
We don't talk about that.
Yeah, we don't. We sure as shit don't talk about that. Jesus Christ.
I did like that there's a scene with him talking to Scatman Crothers. Scatman Crothers is playing the Duke in this movie, and then just a few years later, he's the Duke in Escape from New York, Isaac Hayes. Thought that was a weird little coincidence.
Oh, that scene with Scatman Crothers. Holy shit. Like, the way... Oh, good lord. Oh, talk about a 180 from his role in The Shining.
Yeah.
Called Shelley Duvall. Get back on over there and shut your mouth. Yes, Daddy.
Jerry just staring at that woman's cleavage. So good.
So let's take a break and we will play a preview for the next Kulturecast.
My name's Carter. I know what you want to, and you're gonna get it. This is the end of your rotten life, you dope pusher.
Are you sure you're not just a little black?
And let me see you crawl over here, you black trash.
You want me to crawl?
What are you doing? Put that down.
You want to spit on me and make me crawl?
Just tell me. Did this man send you to kill me?
No. He didn't know nothing.
Take her out and kill her.
I think of all the fun I could have had with a good-looking stud like you.
You really mean that?
All your friends are dead. Well, I killed them all.
That's right, on the next Kulturecast, we're going to be talking about another blaxploitation film. We're going to be talking about Coffee, which is a Pam Grier film. And I have already watched it, and I am excited to talk about it. It is a trip. It is a ride. It's a little different than Truck Turner, but it's still a lot of fun. And we're going to be joined once again by Mike White and also my good friend, the co-host of the Scary Stories We Tell and the One Season Show podcast, Jess Byard. Until then, where can people find you, Father Malone?
Check me out over on my YouTube channel, OughtFiveFilms. I got a show called You've Never Seen about little-known films. And you can also hear me, as mentioned earlier, over on Chronicles from the Crypt, a podcast about the HBO television series Tales from the Crypt.
I do have a question for you, Father Malone.
Oh my God, don't even...
Say, for instance, if Mike or I or others have seen a film that you say we haven't seen, what would be the appropriate reaction to your YouTube channel?
You should know going in that I could perhaps have a second meaning in that title, and you might be seeing the film in a way that you've not been privy to before.
See, that's a better answer than I thought the one you were going to give, which is go fuck yourself.
The answer is go fuck yourself. Yes, no, that's the answer. But
the answer is if you've seen the film, just write down on a piece of paper that you've seen it. Go get some olive oil, put some olive oil in a bowl, take that note, roll it up real tight, dip it in the olive oil, and then just have someone stick it up your ass.
That would be acceptable.
Inside of yourself. Oh, boy. And where can people find you, Mike White?
I can find me over at the Projection Booth Podcast, which is available at projectionboothpodcast.com.
As for myself, Twitter is where you can find me, casualty_Chris. I'm on all kinds of different projects. They are absorbing all of my time, but that is a good thing. It's like a podcast sponge. Scary Stories We Tell is the newest project, along with the Barney Miller podcast. Chronicles is still going. We still do Dreams for Sale, and I'm still doing this, and still doing one season show. So that's like 6 different things being pulled in 6 different directions. It's awesome. Kulturecast on Twitter, Kulturecast. We also have a Patreon, patreon.com/Kulturecast as well. Big thanks to our Patreon supporters as always. Tiger Blood Jewel is the one who provides music for the Kulturecast, and we'll catch you in the next episode.